Hey everyone, welcome to or welcome back to Noras Cove. If you're new here, I'm Yoshida. I'm the owner of Noras Cove, and here at the Cove, we like to get our life together by planning minimally and functionally using a planner, and we also like to get our life together by budgeting our money and our finances using a planner. Today, you guys, I did a video before this one, and I was talking about my new kind of the way I'm going to pay things. And I just wanted to share this because also one of my nail clients is an old co-worker, and she does hair, and so I was sharing it with her. So this may help someone who's self-employed, or if you just have a job and this may work for you as well. But this is what I'm doing. So what I've decided to do is color code. Now, I've kind of tried this before, but not in this capacity. So this is my January layout, and what I've done is I've went in and given each week a color. I'm hoping I'm going to make sense. Let me say this, I'm a visual person, and I had the flu for Christmas, and I still had to come to work. When I was at home and the days that I didn't work, or whenever I got off from work and I went home and went to bed, I was miserable, but I was so mad. I was mad, okay? I was mad for a couple of reasons. One, I was mad at my clients for coming in here getting me sick. Two, I was mad at myself more so because I didn't have no type of savings for being sick. I did in November. I had started to save once I came back from my girls' trip. I got sick in November, and luckily I had enough saved where it took care of my booth rent. So that Saturday or whatever day I couldn't work, I was able to, still pay my booth rent. I was so glad about it. But because I was, out of work, I was still just hustling, still said, oh, I got time. I just got sick, so I got time, and holidays are coming, I'm going to make all this money, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Well, I didn't put any money aside. So I was mad at myself for not having a savings or an emergency fund or just a sick fund. So as I laid in that bed, and the matter I got, and I just started making promises to God and promises to myself. And I said, I will not be in this situation this time next year. I'm like, and December is the month where everything just seems to happen, or the unexpected happens. So I'm making a December fund, but I just had to, I wanted to be better at finances. You guys know we talk finances over here. You've seen some of the ways that I have saved. You've seen some of the ways that I have paid my bills and paid off stuff. But it's like, I don't know, the older I get, it just goes out the window and I can't remember or something like that. I don't know. I can remember, but I'm like, well, that didn't work because I didn't do it anymore, No, I wasn't consistent. So that goes back to my word of the year, which is discipline. And I had already decided, like September, October, my word was going to be discipline. Maybe even, let's just say October, November, that my word was going to be discipline. And as I laid in bed with the flu, Christmas, I kept saying discipline. I said, I just think if I was more disciplined with my money, then I would be more consistent, because that's consistency has been my word of the year for many, many years. And I'm like, I don't want that word this year. I need something that's really going to stick and make sense. And I said, I just think, and God laid on my heart that if you were disciplined, the consistency would come. So I started looking, when I started feeling better, of course, because I didn't eat for a few days, but when I got my appetite back, oh, y'all, I had like 2 days of $70 lunches. Don't come for me, please, in the comments. Worry about you, okay? But anyway, and later that week, I was like, man. Then when Saturday came and I had to pay my booth rent, I was like, you spent $140 eating out. Let's not talk about what else you done ate out on. Like, do you see the money where it's going? Like, that's your problem. Food has always been my number one problem, category-wise or budget-wise. So, again, I made promises to God, all this stuff, but I still went out and spent $140 on eating out. Nonetheless, last week and the week before last, I just started looking on TikTok. I was like looking at budget stuff, but then I was like, no, I need something for bring the light down. I need something for a self-employed person like myself. So I used TikTok as Google. I started coming across stuff, and this one lady, I think I'm gonna try to see if I can put like her information across the screen, but her name was Her Money Mastery. I think I follow her on my Noras Cove account on TikTok, but I was looking through my nail account. But anyway, I'm going through all this stuff, and her video is the only one that made sense. And I'm a visual person, so she was like, if you get paid, but this wasn't for self-employed, this is for a regular person. So she was like, color code your weeks. And I was like, I've seen that before, and people do that. So, but for some reason, it just clicked that it would work for me, self-employed. And here's why. So my car note is behind. We're very transparent over here, okay? My car note is behind, and I have a high car note, okay? You can't get behind in a high car note because they will come and get it, okay? But baby, every time they called, I was like, hey, what can we do? Let's work something out. And so I had set up where I would pay them on the 12th. I had just made a payment in December, let's say like the 29th or something, that date here. Yeah, I paid Allie, so that was like the 29th. So I knew I had to pay this today. Today is the 12th. I had to pay it. So all this week, I decided, I said, I've got to come up with that money. So this week here, the 5th through the 10th, y'all, I did not eat out. I cooked. And see, I had did a video of my flip, and I was just talking about how I kept saying, oh, I'm so hungry. Like, I am hungry. And then I had to tell myself, Shitty, you're not hungry. You just used to going out here and eating. And I do have lunch every day, eat out, and it was like $30, $40, sometimes $30. The minimum amount is $20. On the low end, probably 10, which is very unheard of for me. But I was just like, nope, we eating in the house. Y'all, one day my husband had ordered something out to eat, take out, and so he bought it for me. So I did eat out, but I didn't pay for it. But I ate at home every day, okay? And I start tracking my spending. Let me get my CP Petite. I started tracking my spending in my CP Petite. I started bringing my CP Petite with me to work. We're back at work, matter of fact. So I brought my CP Petite. I just started tracking my spending. Then I used my categories over here to highlight and see. At the end of the week, I ended up spending $645. Mind you, my booth rent is $300. I'm in some Sezzle debt. They wasn't supposed to get this because I was like, I'm not paying them right now. I'll pay them once I get caught up. They end up taking it out of my account. That was supposed to go towards my car note. It's okay. But as you can see, food category is in purple, but that's at the grocery store. I only went to the grocery store twice. With the total of that, it ended up being like $63. So this is my new system. Track my spending, okay? We're tracking my spending. We're tracking, even this week, I'm tracking my savings that I'm throwing in some cash, okay? Whatever cash I decide to put aside and I'm hiding from myself, I'm tracking that. I didn't track it last week, but I'm tracking it this week. And then what I'll do is transfer it from here into my budget, okay? But back to this, I just wanted to kind of break that down. So what I decided was, this is what we're going to do. This is basically payday. Saturday is going to be my payday. I've heard of stylists doing this, but I could never do it because I'm behind. But I'm like, how do I do this when I'm behind? I stopped eating out. I stopped buying unnecessary. Y'all know from my vlog, I was going in Marshalls every day looking for a perfume. My OCD kicked in, my compulsive behavior kicked in, and I was in Marshalls every day. And if they didn't have my perfume, I was picking up something else. Like, oh, just $20 ain't gonna, it's not gonna, it's okay, it's in $20. Or I was back in the thrift store. I said, but when I was sick, I saw my money because all I did was I had to come to work because I had no money. Well, I had money, but I had to come to work because I had obligations and bills. And I think that week the next week I knew I had my car note. So I knew I had to put the money aside. So I was only going to work, coming home. I wasn't spending no money. Just coming home, getting in the bed. I wasn't really eating because I had no appetite. So I wasn't eating out. And I saw my money for the first time. So it kind of clicked. Saturday will be my payday. This 10th, which was this past Saturday, is in blue. I'm putting my money aside. So whatever's in blue is what I'm paying. Normally people say this will pay for this week. For me, it's going to be this week and some into the next week. So today we paid our car note. Let's click that. Okay. So then now we're on this week, which is the 12th through the 18th. So also, let me back up a little bit. I'm hoping I'm being clear, but I'm trying to break it down as best I can. So I said, I got to catch up my car notes. One. Two, what are my two biggest bills? My two biggest bills are my car note and my car insurance. Yes, I could sell my car. Right now I need brakes. I could sell my car, but first of all, I don't even have anything saved to go and buy something cheaper. And two, I just don't want to do it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just don't want to do it. But once I get caught up, I plan to pay extra payments to get my car note paid off so that I don't have a car payment. So that's my goal. All right, so now we're in the week of the 12th through the 17th. So this week paid for my Apple Music, Canva, actually, oh yeah, Canva, my booth rent, right? So this week's payday, everything goes to the side. I got to tell you also what I did. Everything goes to the side, and I don't touch it. I had money left over from this week where that was my quote-unquote spending money for this week. I allotted myself $100. That's just miscellaneous stuff. That's if I need products, whatever. It has to be included in there. So this week, the 12th through the 18th, I'm breaking everything down. So booth rent, $300. That gets paid on Saturday. What I try to do is at least make my booth rent on Saturday. I'm putting half up for my car note and half up for my State Farm. Here is why. Because, again, these are my two biggest bills. Really, these three are my biggest bills. But because I pay booth rent weekly, we're going to take that out of the week. But half of my car note, half of my car insurance. And then to catch up, so I don't just be paying T-Mobile, I'm going to do half T-Mobile, okay? And so everything in pink gets paid this week. I'm going to pay Navy Federal Credit Union tomorrow. I'm going to pay them tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably pay them today. My nail client today paid me through not Cash App, Apple Pay. I kind of want to let that sit there, but that's part of my spending money. I kind of want to let that sit there. But anyway, I'm going to do my girls trip. I'm breaking my girls trip up. Since last week I had so much to pay, going into this week, we paid my girls trip at the end of the month. So I'm going to put $25, and our first payment, down payment, will be $100. And so I'll do $50 on this week. Okay, so back to the pink week. So I'm doing half of my car note and half of State Farm, half of T-Mobile. Also, I got to put this in here. I was helping my daughter. I don't have to help her at this current time. She's gotten a better job. She's gotten off my cell phone bill. She's still on my car insurance, but she's gotten off my cell phone bill, and she's back paying her car note, and so that's kind of freeing up a lot of money. So I can also see my money. But I don't know how I was doing. That's probably how I got behind on mine, trying to help her. Okay, so that's what everything's in pink is going to come out this week, and I'm putting half up. So I need to have $975 guaranteed every week. We do that. We do about $1,200. So that's like my new base price is $1,000 to $1,200 a week. Okay, this week is everything's in green. So we're going to pay half of T-Mobile on this day. And Acuity is my booking site. I kind of want to get rid of it, but that's like $21. I like it because it can remind people of appointments. It's just a business expense. And then T-Mobile is due this day of $241.98. If we put half here and then half on this Monday, because this will be a bit busy Monday, we will have our T-Mobile. Okay? Wait a minute. Half. Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay, so then at that end of the week, we got to have the $975, and then we got to have girls trip. So everything in this week will get paid. I have another payment for my car note on the 27th. That's part of my paying them back program. I'm also writing down which one it is. So this is the November payment, y'all. I was like, I don't know how these people think I'm getting this guy, because I was pretty much 4 months behind. But anyway, this is November's payment. And then we have State Farm. So that's why we're doing the half, okay? And then in the kind of beigey pink, we have T-Mobile, $50. So now what we're going to do, my T-Mobile should go down. I think they told me it's going to be roughly around like $120, but that's kind of like what's left over from my daughter being on my account. So I'm going to do 50 just in case. So if I have extra when we get to the 21st of February, which is T-Mobile is due, I'll just put that in a savings account, okay? All right, or in a cash envelope, or one of my buckets. I'm going to tell you about that later. And then we put girls trip aside, okay? All right, this week, again, we're into the beigey pink. This week, we're going to pay GoDaddy from this money. At first, I said, oh, we'll do it this week, but no, we need to have our $9.75. So we're going to pay GoDaddy from this week. State Farm will be coming from this week, okay? And then we're going to put our T-Mobile and our girls trip, $50. Now, what I was thinking was, if I did so well to come up with my car note, one full car note last week, I was like, let me get your opinion. Should this week, I should just, which week am I at? This week. Should I just focus on another payment? Like try to save that whole payment up and then just pay 2 payments? Because I want to get caught up so that I can implement this properly. Okay. But the way I'm looking, I could probably be caught up by February. Now, if I come across a large sum of money, I'm going to put it towards an extra car note. All right, back here, I have the breakdown. Here's my budget breakdown, $1,000 weekly. And that would be, that's just on the low end. And then that's car insurance, booth rent, and something remaining. I don't know. Oh, I don't know why I got this, what this breakdown. I want to put 63 in savings. I think I was just doing a zero budget. Here are some sinking funds that I needed. I said fund / me, which is normally my miscellaneous, gas, savings, emergency fund, debt, grocery, clothing, bills, taxes, car maintenance, and then December. Oh, that's another thing. I'm starting a December fund because, like I said, I was sick. And then to me, it seems like in December, everything just kind of happens. Like I needed breaks. Just unexpected things seem to happen in December, or something I may have missed. Like everything piles up to me in December. So I used to say, oh, I need a Christmas fund. No, I need a December fund, okay? That could be for buy gifts. It could be unexpected stuff. And if not, I'm going to roll it into whatever I have left. It's going to roll into the next December envelope. I'm going to take a portion of it and put it in. This is my thought process. I'll put it into investments, okay? And so now we get into February. So as I was saying in my last video, I haven't written out my goals yet because I want to see how January goes. But I had to come in and start the color coding process so I can see how things are going to get paid and which month I'll be on as far as my car note. So that's why I said, dang, I'm going to still be like a month behind. So I'm going to have to find a week where I put an extra car note so I can kind of get caught up and get on a system. So again, this is from the, what is it? The beige pink. Let me get to it real quick. So that week, because it falls on a Sunday, it will get paid from that. Okay. And then on to our blue. Our blue covers half of Alley. Oh, also, this is State Farm. So now I don't have to do half payments because State Farm will be paid on time. I can break State Farm down by the quarter. So now we don't have to come out with so much money. So we may have enough to be able to do like an extra payment, if that makes sense. So everything in blue is what's going to get paid, which is here. As you can see, we're kind of catching up. And then here, I'm going to put $25 to girls trip. Navy Federal Credit Union, $50. This is a credit card, and it's due on the 13th, but I'm going to try to get that card. It's only a $500 limit. It's my only credit card at this moment. I want to kind of get that down so I can automate some things or like, you know, build some credit with that card. Here we go, booth rent. Again, now our expense is getting less because we've caught up State Farm. Not necessarily caught it up, but we, you know, kind of got that payment down to where we don't have to do the half anymore. And again here, so now new weekly payment that we need to have is a $675, $7, whatever that is, about almost $800, not quite $9. And then, like I said, if I have a week where I have a great week, I'm just going to pay an extra payment. And then here we go. I need to do, I don't have a calculator here, but here's my priorities for February. We have Ally banks. That's another thing. I'm trying to explain this, what happened. I paid two car insurances by accident. It threw my account in the negative. Then Sezzle came in and tried to get money and threw it into the negative. And I just haven't been able to get it back. One of my accounts is in the negative by almost 700, not quite 700. I was going to try to pay it down. I probably could do it like this week, but I think I'm just going to let it go because I always keep more than one account at a bank and then pay it later because I still want to keep an account at that bank. So I think I'm just going to pay it later, pay it off later, when I can just pay it in little increments. I want to catch up Sezzle because once I'm done with Sezzle, baby, let me tell you something. I paid off my Afterpay. I almost deleted the app. I don't even want it no more. I'm not ready for it. I want to pay off Sezzle and to never deal with them again. Savings, investments, and then here I put fit an extra payment into Ally, and I highlighted it in this pink so I would draw my eye to it. Okay, cash envelopes. I want to kind of start my cash envelopes this month. I've been saving money. Like I said, I've just been putting cash aside, and I'm just not touching it. So once I get a good amount in there and I'm ready to do cash envelopes, I'm kind of disperse it through cash envelopes and then do some online savings accounts that I have. My sister's getting married in May, and her bridal shower I'm doing in April. So I want to put money aside. This is an expense because, one, she lives in Richmond. I'm in Maryland, if you don't know, so I'll have to travel to her. That's gas. Of course, I want it to be nice, so I got to buy food. I'm going to cook some of the food. Some of the food I'm just going to probably order, but I'm going to do most of the cooking, so I got to do groceries, all that. So I want to be able to save $25 to $50 a week towards that. And with what is left, will go into a savings. And I said savings need a due date. I think my savings due date is going to be on Mondays, and I want to have something automatically come out of my account going into that. But first, I want to get on, like a schedule, and then hopefully we can implement that into March. So that's why I haven't even went up to March. So hopefully by by February, we've caught up. Now, with all that said, let me go back a little bit. My goal for the first quarter, I'm working in quarters. My goal for the first quarter is to save $500. So here's what I have done. I'm just going to leave this open so we can have just something for y'all to focus on besides my little hands. But my goal is to save $500 for the first quarter of the year. So I broke that up into what I have to actually have, which is roughly about 175, 180 something. Let me look. Each month. I'm doing okay so far. Today, my goal, well, it wasn't my goal, but what I did was I opened up an Ally account. My car note is through Ally. So I've heard how good Ally's interest rate is on their savings account, stocks, stuff like that. So I was like, it makes more sense if I don't just be stashing this money in my house. Like, let me open up an account and then I can just transfer it to my car note. And then that way I can just take these half payments that I'm paying. I'm going to put pretty much $675 into that Ally account. That's also going to be where I pay my car insurance. And then I'm going to try to automate my car insurance. I'm going to be honest. I know I'm not ready because anything can happen. I could slip a slide and be eaten out. So I'm hoping by June, July, or August, and what quarter is that? The third quarter? No, second quarter. By the second quarter, I can automate my car insurance and my car note because this seems doable, okay? Putting half or breaking them up in quarters and just put them in that account and then let them take the money. So hopefully I can have that automated. That's my goal. So I'll make that a second quarter goal, is to have some things on automation. A lot, matter of fact. I want to put T-Mobile on there. I want to put all this stuff I want automated. I want not booth rent. I want Ally, State Farm, and T-Mobile. Those are my three major bills. I want them automated. Then also, once I get caught up, I don't really pay anything at my house. My husband pays most of the bills, but I want to it's always been my goal for the past probably, 15 years, is to be more of a help to my husband. And I want to be able to just put money in his account. So he's going to eventually get on here to help with the bill. So I'll put him down as Bill or / hubby. But I want to be able to just automatically put some money transfer to his account to help with bills. Like, we don't have a joint account, thank God. But yeah, so to be able to do that. So eventually he'll become a bill once I get some type of momentum going. So back to these accounts that I've opened. I've opened a Vanguard. I already had Capital One, but I had 2 Capital One cards, which I just stopped paying, so I owe them. So, but I just opened, and I already had a checking and savings with them, but I wasn't using them. I just opened up 2 more checking accounts because I wanted one to be a bill, but I also opened up a Vanguard account. That Vanguard is going to hold, I think that's going to hold my December fund. I'm not sure yet. And because I still have my Marcus account, I got to see what the interest rate is going for Marcus right now. But, and also my Vanguard, I was going to use that for my car note. But now I have Allie, so I have a Vanguard checking. It's just something I'm just going to be putting money in. And I like to have more than one bank account. And I'm going to work out, let's go back here. Oh, no, it's in here. I'm going to redo my categories. I'm gonna redo my categories because I feel like I have 3 businesses. Each of these they don't necessarily need their own account, but they do. I definitely need one for Noras Cove. I need a tax account. I need one for the hair and the nails. And actually, I think they still need to be separated because when things come up, like products, I want to be putting, another thing is I want to be putting money aside. I have to break things up. I have to divide. That's just works best for me, is to divide things. So let's give you an example. When I go to purchase a car, sorry, I thought someone cut out. When I go to purchase a car and they give me the price, that's why I have the car that I have, because I know that I can afford it. I break it into 4s. I automatically divide it by 4. This is what I need to have each week in order to get this. I can afford this car. Yeah, when I first got this car, I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted to pay. I wanted to be more here. But I said, I eat $200 worth of food out to eat a week. We can afford it. And I did want a cheaper one, but it's not like I couldn't afford it. As you can see, if I could save it up in a week and still have money left, I can afford it. It's just that I wasn't spending my money right. And then how I got kind of behind again, this was because I was helping my daughter. But prayerfully, she keep this job because I can't help no more. But anyway, I need new categories. So like I said, I want to have one for each business. I want to have a food grocery one. I don't know if that should be the same, but I also want to make me an eating out category, which I had before. I did have an eating out envelope. Once I get situated, I'm going to allow myself 1, maybe 2 times a week to eat out. But y'all, I said this earlier, I was like, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. But I really wasn't hungry. It's just the act of eating out, going somewhere, being served. By Saturday, I was good. I was like, I don't want to eat. I'm going to this grocery store. I want some party food. I'm going to make me some appetizers, and I'm good. I ate appetizer food for 2 days in a row. I was good. Didn't even bother me. Today, I was out, and there's a certain part of town where the bank is. There's so many shopping things over there. There is Marshall's, there's Burlington, there's Ross, there's Chick-fil-A, there's Panera Bread, there's a, what do you call it, a seafood boil place. There's Meza. I love Meza. All these things, when I go to that side of town, and the thrift stores on that side of town. When I go to that side of town, that's where I used to work. So on that side of town, when I used to work on that side of town, any downtime, I'm in them stores, okay? Today, I was a little nervous because I had to go to the bank. And I was like, Lord, I need to get in this bank and get out of here. So I went, deposited my cash for my car note, paid the car note in the parking lot. And when I left out, I was like, I do have a gift card for Marshall's. I should just go in there and use my gift card. I came up out of that parking lot. Oh, yeah, there's a Popeyes, too. I was like, we're getting up out of here. I was like, ooh, I need a little something to take the edge off. I need to just go and pull up in one of these drive-thrus. Nope. Guess what I did? I took my butt home. I filmed a video for y'all. I made my lunch, and I had leftover party food. I ate that. Y'all, I'm fine. I ain't ate nothing since, okay? I'm good. I'm off of adrenaline now because I done went, and then in the parking lot, excuse me, after I paid the car note, that's when I opened up the Alley accounts. I went home and I cooked dinner. I started prepping dinner. My chicken is in the oven. When I get home, all I gotta do is make the sides, okay? And it's getting late, so what time is it? 7 o'clock. I need to go home so I can finish the sides. And that's gonna be my food for tomorrow. So it's your habits, the discipline, y'all. So now the adrenaline and the dopamine is saving. Like, ooh, let's see what I can do. I sent $200 from my first 2 clients this morning. I made like 225, but again, that 60. Matter of fact, where did that money come from? That 60 was a nail client, so I'm kind of trying to hold on to that. But I sent 200 right over to the Ally account. Now, it's going to take a day or 2 to get there. Prayerfully, Suzzle don't check in the account. They won't. Because I took them off that account, that particular account. But 200 is already going to my Ally. So all I got to do is put what? 175 for my Ally payment. That's what else I got to have for the rest of the week towards my Ally payment. Then I'm going to put 300. When I get the next 300, it's going in there for the State Farm. State Farm doing the 28th. So that's how I'm paying, and I'm just praying it's working. But I wanted to share it with people who understand here on my YouTube channel. And if I implement it, it will work. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. There's not going to be any beautiful spreads here, okay? Not for a good little while. As you can see, this is all I could do. This is all I could do for this month. This is not going to be pretty, but it's gonna work for me. It's just going to be highlighters. And I may switch up the colors each month. I do want something more on the neutral side. But right now, it makes sense. I hope it makes sense to y'all. You know, I hope it makes sense to y'all. So this is what I'm doing. And I'm spending time in my budget planner. Like, I got a whole work bag, y'all. I've been bringing my budget planner with me to work. She don't go out the house. She does not leave home. Baby, she's been outside, okay? She's been outside. She's been outside getting work, okay? Because I like to transfer from here to here. I like to look at when I got my clients, I'm here at work. When I got my clients up under the dryer, I like to come in here and look and see like, oh, is that gonna make sense? Or how we doing us? How's everything looking to get done? Like, are we gonna really be able to do this? And I'm spending more time in my budget planner at work. Okay. Also, last thing, I'm back. I am back because I just can't hold this goodness in. And that's another thing. Y'all, I hadn't really planned. And I, normally was just doing my schedule. Well, once I started doing online with my schedule, I wasn't coming in my planner. My planner was sitting. I realized I had to get my life together. And the only way to do that was to whip up my planners. They're not going to be pretty. Y'all, I want to buy some stuff for them, but I'm on a no-buy. And so I'm like, we're going to work with what we got. I went and reprinted inserts, redated them, all that stuff. And I was like, we got to work with what we got. We're going to have to do our own stuff. You can't get anything until I make a planner envelope. There's some money in there. Then we can shop for planner stuff. But right now, I'm on a no-buy. And thinking of no-buy, and this is really the last thing, I saw where there was a 75 hard financial challenge. I didn't realize, but I've been doing it for over a week. So it's basically, I'll see if I have a picture, but it's basically like you check in with your finances and no unplanned expenses, like read or take in some type of financial knowledge. I can't remember everything, but you can kind of do a little Google search. Everything is different. Everybody has like a different way. Some people make their own, and I thought about making my own because, like I said, I've been really locked in. I'm locked in for 2026. And I'm so locked in that I'm like, maybe I'll do a budget bundle for November. You know what I'm saying? But I got to plan. I can't really say that I will until I get caught up so that I can invest the money in it to do it so it's ready to go, okay? Ready to go. So I'm locked in, and I hope you guys are here for it. Now I got my home set up. We can start back doing some plan with me's, but I had to really, I couldn't share everything because I had to kind of get reacclimated with my planners. I want a new cover, but baby, she fine. As y'all can see, I got polish on her. They're dirty, but that's what I like about planning. Like, I don't baby my planners, okay? And we just locked in. So if you want to be locked into and you want to follow along with me with this journey, and I even thought about like making a whole separate TikTok account, but that's a story for another day. But I may start showing back up on my Noras Cove TikTok. But anywho, I hope this was helpful. I know it was a little long, but if you stayed for the full thing, give me a thumbs up in the comments section. Or if you got to take a little break, get you some snacks, come back or watch the other half. I really appreciate you being here. So if today was your first time watching any of my videos and you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. And also don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.